Imagine waking up one morning, looking into the mirror, and realizing that from this day forward, you will never look older again. Your hair will never turn gray. Your skin will never wrinkle. Your body will remain in perfect health, frozen at its peak. What would life be like if humans stopped aging? Would it be a dream come true, the ultimate victory over time? Or would it unleash consequences we cannot even imagine? Aging has always been humanity's greatest enemy. Since the beginning of history, people have searched for ways to delay it: elixirs, magical potions, the philosopher's stone, even legends of fountains of youth. But in modern times, science is getting closer than ever to understanding why we age, and how we might stop it. Biologists have discovered that aging is not simply wear and tear. It is written in our cells. Our DNA shortens with every division. Damage accumulates. Cells lose their ability to repair themselves. But new research shows that many of these processes can be slowed down, or even reversed. Scientists are experimenting with genetic therapies that reset the biological clock of cells. Some animals, like jellyfish and lobsters, appear to escape aging entirely. Could humans one day join them? Now imagine what would happen if a breakthrough occurred tomorrow. A pill, an injection, or a treatment that stopped aging permanently. People could still die from accidents or disease, but the slow decline of the body would end. At first, it would feel like a miracle. Families would rejoice as grandparents stayed healthy and young. Lifespans could stretch to hundreds of years. Doctors could eliminate age-related diseases like Alzheimer's, cancer, and heart disease. Humanity might experience a golden age of health and productivity. But then, new questions would arise. If people stopped aging, how long would they want to live? Would death become optional? And what would that mean for society? Population would be the first challenge. Right now, death balances birth. If people stopped aging, the planet's population would explode. In just a few generations, Earth could become overcrowded. Cities would burst at the seams, resources would dwindle, and competition for space, food, and jobs would intensify. Governments might introduce strict birth control. Maybe couples would be limited to one child, or even none, in order to prevent overpopulation. The value of life would change dramatically. Children might become rare and precious, while older generations, who never die, would dominate society. Economy and careers would change beyond recognition. Imagine working at the same job for 150 years. Promotions, retirements, even the idea of youth and old age would vanish. A 25-year-old might compete for jobs with someone who has been alive for 200 years. Experience would matter more than ever, but so would innovation. Would younger people ever get a chance if the older generations never step aside? Education would have to adapt too. Lifelong learning would no longer be a slogan but a necessity. People might study for decades, reinvent themselves every century, and pursue multiple careers across their endless lives. Relationships would transform in ways we can barely imagine. Marriage, for example, is often built on the idea of spending a lifetime together. But what does forever mean if forever could last hundreds of years? Would people commit for centuries, or would relationships become temporary, renewable contracts? Romance could flourish with endless youth, but it could also collapse under the weight of eternity. The excitement of "till death do us part" might lose its meaning if death no longer comes. Families would stretch across unimaginable spans of time. Imagine meeting your great-great-great-great-grandmother, still alive, still young, raising children alongside her descendants. Generations would blur, and the idea of lineage might lose its importance. Culturally, the meaning of life itself might change. Much of art, literature, and philosophy is shaped by the awareness of mortality. The ticking clock of life creates urgency, passion, and meaning. Without aging, without the fear of time running out, would life lose its intensity? Perhaps people would become less reckless, more thoughtful, knowing they have centuries ahead. Or perhaps boredom would consume them. Would people still take risks, fall in love, chase dreams, if they believed they had endless time to do it later? Some might choose to end their own lives, not out of despair, but because eternity feels too long. Suicide might become normalized, even respected, as a personal choice. Others might embrace life with endless creativity, exploring every art, every science, every adventure possible. Now let's think about inequality. If aging stopped, who would have access to this power? Would it be a universal right, free for all humanity? Or would only the wealthy and powerful afford it? Imagine a world where billionaires live forever, while the poor continue to suffer and die. Power would become eternal. Dictators, corporations, elites, none would be replaced by time. Social mobility might vanish completely, with eternal dynasties ruling forever. On the other hand, if everyone had access, society would face new dilemmas. Would Earth's resources support billions of immortals? Or would humanity be forced to expand beyond the planet, colonizing Mars and the stars simply to survive? Science and exploration might benefit enormously. Imagine scientists working for centuries, perfecting their knowledge, building on lifetimes of experience. Artists could spend hundreds of years refining their craft. Human progress might accelerate beyond anything we can imagine. But progress could also stall. If the same people remain in power for centuries, innovation might slow down. Fresh perspectives could vanish. Youth has always driven revolutions, cultural, political, technological. Without it, would humanity grow stagnant? Philosophically, the question is even deeper. Mortality has always defined us. Every religion, every culture, every philosophy wrestles with the reality of death. If aging disappeared, what would it mean to be human? Would we become something entirely new, a species beyond biology, beyond nature? Some might see it as evolution's next step, a leap into post-human existence. Others might see it as a curse, a violation of the natural cycle. Myths from around the world warn against immortality, painting it as a fate worse than death. Could humanity handle eternal life without losing its soul? And then there is the question of the universe itself. Even if humans stopped aging, the cosmos moves on. Stars burn out. Galaxies collide. One day, the universe itself will end, in heat death, big rip, or collapse. What happens to immortals then? To stop aging is not to stop time. Sooner or later, eternity might end anyway. So, what if humans stopped aging? The answer is both exhilarating and terrifying. We could eliminate disease, extend life indefinitely, and unleash human potential like never before. But we could also face overpopulation, inequality, boredom, and the collapse of everything we now take for granted. Perhaps the real question is not whether we can stop aging, but whether we should. And if that day comes, when science finally cracks the code of immortality, humanity will have to decide not just how long we want to live, but why. This has been a journey into one of the most profound what-if scenarios, a world where humans never age. Utopia or chaos? Miracle or curse? The truth may be all of them at once. If this made you think differently about life and the future, hit like and subscribe to Future Scope. Because tomorrow's possibilities may be stranger, and more powerful, than anything we imagine today.